Are you tired of the non-stop hustle and grind? Well, welcome to Life in Business, the podcast for business owners who want success without sacrificing life. I'm Libby Langley, your host, award-winning, no BS, straight-talking business coach, Amazon best-selling author, and the queen of easy business. Join me to learn simple and practical strategies for growing your business, your profits, and your confidence, and having fun too. Here's this week's episode. Hello, we are back. Welcome to another episode, a new episode of Life in Business. And it's really nice to be here with you. I very much enjoy being here with you, sharing my thoughts and kind of helping you from afar, really. It's something that I very much enjoy doing, and I missed not doing it. I did say that I was going to be taking a bit of a break, and the weird thing about batching content is that you take a break, but actually everybody else only thinks it's the week because that's all you sort of miss publicly. But I pretty much taken a month off actually from my business, which is absolutely unheard of for me. I mean, I've been in business just coming up for 12 years now, and I don't think that I've ever really taken any time off. I've had holidays. However, I've often worked on holidays, and if I've not worked, I've certainly been like aware of work. So I've always checked my emails, checked my social media, all this kind of stuff. And that's still work, right? It's still kind of space that's being taken up. And I think after, 11 plus years, that kind of just, it gets on top of you, right? Couple that with, we moved to a completely new area last year where we didn't know anybody, so building a new life, getting used to the new house. My husband got made redundant, all that, him getting a new job, all that kind of process. Me getting diagnosed as autistic. Yeah, it's all kind of quite a lot, right? And everything just, to be honest, just kind of came to a bit of a head. But I'm definitely on the other side now. I can see categorically that I've been through burnout, but I'm definitely on the other side now and I'm back, which is great. But there are a lot of lessons for you in there that I'm going to share with you. And the kind of overarching thing is that I'm going to help you build a sustainable business, okay? Because what I had been building was not a sustainable business, as I've kind of just explained that everything went a bit kaput. But I'm human too. We're all human, and that's actually one of the hardest things, I suppose, is to you're not on a pedestal. I don't mean it like that, but you sort of are, right? You're the one that people are listening to. You're the one that people are asking for support. That's what we all are. We're all the experts in our industry. And when you talk about ease and simplicity, as I do, and actually you kind of making it more complicated than it needs to be because of years and years and years of knowledge and building things up, it feels really hard for me to have admitted or had to admit that I just couldn't do that anymore. But it's okay, I've dealt with that. I don't feel guilty about it. It's just something that's happened, and I'd rather be back and fresh than not, whatever the alternative to that is. So the lesson for you thus far, and I've got a lot of things to tell you today, but the lesson for you there is that actually doing all the things, learning all the stuff, always trying to be the best so you can answer every single question that ever is going to be thrown at you takes its toll, right? And also by learning lots of things and being, so focused on pivoting and adapting and changing and being excited by that kind of stuff as well, that isn't sustainable because mentally, particularly if you have ADHD, but you're always thinking of something new, you've always got new ideas, but actually that's absolutely exhausting to follow them all as well. So having this kind of clear focus and sticking to it, and it's way more nuanced than just not going down rabbit holes. It's about being true to the core of what really makes you happy. And that's something that we have to really kind of look inside ourselves to know and to understand, because I don't think that always we are connected with that. We think we know what we like and we enjoy the stuff that we're doing, but is it really congruent with what we actually think inside? And that's a question for you to ponder about your own business, not the thing that you're doing necessarily, but the way that you're doing it all. And certainly that's what contributed to my burnout and me going kaput. So, okay, so what did I do? What have I done over the last few weeks that have really made the biggest difference and the biggest impact, I think, on me mentally, physically, and to allow me to actually build a properly sustainable business for the future? Well, do you know what? It's actually pretty bloody radical. And it's pretty bloody radical because I've basically deleted everything. And that's really quite hard for me because I love technology. I mean, I haven't deleted all my technology, obviously, but I love technology. I love learning new things. I love knowing about shortcuts. I love automation. I love all those things. But I've kind of stopped it all because for me, it's not sustainable in my business, and it isn't healthy for me to keep chasing new ways to save time because that creates work by chasing them. Do you understand? Oh, dear me. Inside the mind of an entrepreneur, it's very difficult, and I'm sure that you are nodding along and you feel exactly the same half the time. So I'm also very good at kind of self-reflection and analysis here so that I can share for you what might be going on for you and you can kind of recognise stuff. So one of the things that I had realised was that to a certain extent, some of the stuff I've done over the last few years had been because I thought it would make money. And that is never a way to build a sustainable business. If you're leading money first, if you're a corporate, fine, whatever, but you're not. If it's just you or just a handful of you in the business, if you're leading money first, it's not sustainable. You have to lead with heart first, feeling first. What that kind of thing has to be kind of what you lead with. So what I did was I kind of took note of exactly the stuff that I talked to my clients about, and I got a massive bit of paper. I have this most incredible thing. It's a Post-it tabletop easel pad, right? So it's massive Post-it notes. What size are they? They're A2? No. What's bigger than that? A4, A2, A0? A1. They're big anyway. They're massive. And you can make it like an easel on a stand, and then you can peel them off and stick them on the wall, and it's really exciting. So I got this enormous piece of paper and I wrote Libby 2.0 at the top, which is how I am talking about my kind of relaunch. And I put 2 columns, in and out. And this is an exercise that I strongly suggest that you do. So in is all the things that you want to do or like about what you already do. And out is all the stuff that you don't. Okay? And you might be surprised, if you're absolutely brutally honest, you might be surprised about what's in which column. And some of the things I wrote on the in column, they've now gone. I've crossed them out because I'm like, no, that's not really what I want to do. I was going to put together a suite of low-cost on-demand masterclasses because I've got so much training and stuff recorded, and I was going to put together lots of stuff and ebooks and all that kind of thing and have them for sale on my website. And I sat with this list for kind of a week or two, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to create courses. Training is great if I'm in a room with people and I get that kind of instant interaction, but I don't want to be a digital course seller. And it's quite interesting because I know how to do it. I know how to do all the tech, and for me, I find it very easy. I know how to create them. I certainly know how to deliver the training, but I know in terms of the back end stuff, I know how to create it all. I know how to do the sales page, the structure, the payment portal, all of that. But I don't want to. that is just kind of the thing for the biggest thing. The biggest thing that you should take away from this is if there's a feeling of, no, I don't know, maybe, then put it in your out column. Absolutely put it in your out column, because you do not have to do it. And it's weird advice in some ways. And some coaches be like, oh, no, but that's a way to make passive income. And it's like, yeah, sure. But you've still got to market them. You've still got to keep them up to date. You've still got to set up all the tech, which is a lot of work and might have costs, will have costs associated with it. And, you know, that you could just go out and get yourself another one-to-one client in with as much time and effort who pays you 30 times as much as one person buying an online course. So it's about what you want to do, okay? And it does not matter if that is not the, the kind of chosen thing to do, or the fashionable thing to do, or what everybody's telling you should do, okay? I mean, I've been coaching people for a long, long time, and I've seen a lot of things come and go. And believe you me, you could make £1 million doing anything you blooming want. You could make £1 million dancing on roller skates in your, somewhere. Just, people make money doing it, all sorts of things. It's about really believing in your core that what you're doing is comfortable for you and is right for you, and you enjoy. It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter how weird and wacky it is. So what will happen from this exercise of you having your in column and your out column is that you will come up with a business model. It will be an obvious kind of business model that comes in. And you might find that some of the stuff that's out are practical, actual, tangible things that you deliver, and other things are kind of feelings that you don't want to do, okay? And both of those is, they go hand in hand when you're running your own business. So you don't need to follow a crowd, right? You don't need to do whatever coach you're following on Instagram tells you that you need to do, right? You don't. Just because they're doing it doesn't mean anything. There's people like Amy Porterfield, who it's great. I love Amy. I met her in San Diego, way back in 2013, I think. Really nice, very tall, but really nice, and has built a great business over the years. But she, in one of her podcast episodes a long time ago now, she said that actually she's got a team, I think, of about 20 people. And it's like, so what she is teaching people is great and works and all this, but she has a team of 20 people. If you are you and you're trying to do the same thing, it is hard work, right? It's hard graft. And also, you're not going to get the same kind of results because you don't have the same type of audience, you've not got the longevity of business, all that kind of stuff. So following these crowds and following certain coaches on Instagram or wherever, it isn't necessarily going to get you the result that you want. Really, really importantly, and I'm not saying you can't learn from other people, but there's these kind of shiny people on Instagram, of which Amy isn't one, but shiny people on Instagram who promise you the earth, and it's like, no, just do what you want to do. Have some conviction in yourself, and do what you want to do. And what has always worked in terms of business is conversations, is talking to people, is getting referrals, is networking, is engaging with new people, is chatting online. All of those things work. And so if you just did more of those rather than all the other complex tech stuff, you might find that actually you have more fun and you have a better business. And certainly that's more sustainable and more profitable because it doesn't cost anything, right? It doesn't cost anything to do that. And another thing, I sound very much like I'm anti-technology, and I'm absolutely not. But what I think has happened in the kind of through COVID, it used to be amazing before COVID, right? All this stuff was brilliant, and it was easier to implement. People didn't know about it, therefore it was kind of easier to get people to sign up for stuff to a certain extent, because people didn't know what a free masterclass. People didn't kind of know what that was, but now everyone knows that it's basically just a sales pitch. Some value, but then there's a sales pitch in there as well. It got so saturated, that world, during COVID, because everybody took their businesses online, that now there's kind of a real jaded feeling, I think. Certainly I feel it. You know, I'm like, oh God, bore off. Now I feel it, but I know that other people who aren't in the industry also feel it. It feels like there's a bit of a kind of onslaught of things you must be, you must do, and you must have. And it just isn't the case at all. Yeah. So you can absolutely build your own business model from this in and out list. And genuine simplicity, I think, is absolutely the key to having a sustainable business. And the caveat of this is I am one person. I have a few people who do bits and bobs, podcast editing and stuff. But I am one person. I'm assuming that you are one, possibly 2-3 people, but you are a very small business as well. So this applies to you. This doesn't apply to you if you've got a team of 20. Then there's a whole different. Let's talk about making that simpler. But if it's you on your own, genuine simplicity is absolutely what's going to be your sustainable business model. So my model, I think you might be interested to, I hope you're interested to hear kind of what's going out for me. So things that are going out, discovery calls. So this is a real thing in the coaching industry, and you may offer them in your business as well. Free calls to, talk about a bit about your business. They are essentially sales calls. They are. And I've offered them for a long time, so you've been able to book a free call with me. And the thing that I have become disillusioned about discovery calls or sales calls, whatever you want to call them, is that I really like helping people. And because the way my brain works, if someone says something to me, I can immediately think of a solution and the practical steps that need to be implemented into that. And I give that, okay? I give that. And so I have ended up, maybe this is a boundaries issue, but I find myself kind of coaching too much during a discovery call. And it frustrates me because I want to be able to help that person more, but I also have to hold myself back because it's just a like testing the water call, even if it's with someone I know, yeah? So I'm ditching them. And it's going to be better for me, and it's going to be far better for other people, the people who want to talk to me. And what's coming in instead is a mini strategy session. Yeah, a clarity boost, quick clarity boost, mini strategy session. It's a word strategy is a word I really struggle to say. So what's replacing a free 30-minute call is a paid for 30-minute call where we can thrash stuff out. You can actually get the answers to your problems, and I can happily over-deliver as much as I like because it's a paid-for session, but a really, really inexpensive access level paid-for session. And if that then leads to further coaching work, amazing. If it doesn't, oh my goodness, you've got tons and tons from it, and I've been paid for it as well. So it kind of is something that actually sits much more comfortably with me because it allows delivery, it allows for better value, and it does generate some sort of income. So that's not what other coaches will tell you to do, but that's what I'm doing. I'm also getting rid of, let's do a drum roll for this one, because this is quite a biggie, lead magnets. And I'm going to do a whole episode on that and talk about that. So that'll be the next episode after this one. So listen out for that. Lead magnets are going because I'm not really comfortable with them, turns out. And I've been teaching people how to create them and that they need them as part of their marketing mix for a long time, long time. Yeah, lead magnets could be webinars, they could be downloadable PDFs, they could, anything like that you sign up for free, but you give your email address in exchange for. Yeah, done with them. And following on from that, sales funnels, they're going too. I have a regular email that I send every week, sometimes a bit more, which is full of useful, practical strategies, like a kind of written version of this podcast to a certain extent, more bite-sized. And so that's going to be that's the thing that people can sign up for from me, and we can build a relationship, we can communicate by email, and I will send out practical tools and guidance, but I'm not giving away a free download in exchange for your email address and then putting you into a funnel so that then eventually you'll book a free call with me and I'll try and tell you something. Just not doing it because it doesn't sit right with me. And it's really, honestly, it is quite, I feel like a real maverick for doing this and even saying it out loud, because it's not what people do. It's not what any of the coaches on Instagram will tell you, but it feels sustainable and fun and interesting and far more authentic and true to what I actually believe in and want to do. Yeah. And if you want to have lead magnets and sales funnels and discovery calls in your business, amazing. I can absolutely help you be more efficient with those and get more from them. But for me, and I'll help you in a 30-minute paid for mini strategy session. But for me, it's I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So yeah, also stopping pricing things in numbers that end with 7s, because it's just bullshit. I know it makes people more likely to buy, but it just is. It's just rubbish. It just doesn't mean anything. So yeah, interesting. And we'll watch this space. Let's see. But what is in for me is simplicity, ease, conversations, podcast, regular emails, my book, talks about my book, and overall clarity, purpose, and direction. And that's absolutely my focus with my clients. Always has been, but even more so now. Clarity, purpose, direction. Because without those 3 things, you cannot have, it's impossible to create a business that is profitable, is fun, and that is sustainable. And this is the whole point of this, is that we want to make money. We want to enjoy what we're doing. We want to work as few hours as possible and be as profitable as possible. And we want to be able to just rinse and repeat that. Yeah? That's the easiest way to have a sustainable business, is to make it so simple that you only have 3 or 4 different facets to it. They're what you talk about, they're what you believe in, they're how you help people, and you don't have anything else to do. If you've got time on your hands, then create some more podcast episodes, create some more emails, write another book, the stuff that has longevity to it, but you don't have to go down any flashy, gimmicky routes of creating more freebies, more stuff. Do a paid for masterclass instead, rather than doing freebies, and actually interact with people, because that interaction, those conversations, they are the things that will keep your business sustainable, keep you sane, and help you make money for the longer term. So there we go. It's pretty radical stuff, but I hope that by me sharing so absolutely openly and honestly the kind of intricacies of my business is going to give you the confidence to do what you want to do. And like I say, if you want all the bells and whistles, amazing. And absolutely, I'm here to support you and help you with that if you need my help to kind of get better at that and be more efficient at that. But also, if you are feeling like me and just you do your in and out list and you're like, I don't want to do any of that shit anymore. Oh my God, then I am celebrating you and I am championing you, and I am here for all of that. And I would love to know what's on your in list and what's on your out list. So do let me know. I love it when I hear from you, as you know, because I say that in practically every episode. But Instagram, I'm at Libby Langley. LinkedIn too, spending a lot more time on LinkedIn at the moment. So just search for me, Libby Langley, on LinkedIn, and message me and tell me what's on your in list and what's on your out list. And if you want to get on my email list, if you want to get my Business Bites emails, then the link's in the show notes, but it's libbylangley.com/email. And I am going to see you next week. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to Life in Business. Please make sure that you subscribe or follow so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you enjoyed today's show, please leave a review, as it helps others to find the podcast and spread the word that there's an easier way to do business. If you want to chat with me about today's episode or suggest a topic for the future, I would love to hear from you. You can find me on Instagram @Libby Langley. See you next week.